You are listening to the Seeds of Revolution, Daughters of the Whirlwind podcast. The revolution is live. Welcome back.
Welcome.
Hey,
so
sisters.
Hey.
She's my sister. She's my sister.
That's my sister. That's my sister. That's my. I miss y'all.
I miss y'all too.
It's been a minute.
Doing well.
Yes.
Can you believe it's summertime already?
Oh my God. Summertime, but then we still get these splashes of cold fronts.
Right. I'm like,
Or rainy days.
Like, what's happening at the
let me grab my hoodie. Well, I always tell people Atlanta's bipolar.
Well, you have to keep
the weather.
I have a scarf in the car. I keep a jacket in the car and a hoodie because you never know. And an umbrella
and rain boots.
I had on a tank one day and a hoodie the next.
Yes.
A hoodie.
Ready for whatever.
Yes. So for those of you who are trying to distinguish our voices, because we have gotten that comment a few times.
Yeah.
Dr. Asantu Asuni Ali here.
Aisha T. Obafemi here.
Princess Madaya Yeshaya right here.
All right. Introduce yourself right on.
Hey.
Introduce yourself right on. We have so many songs, y'all.
We do. And we'll cover that one episode.
Yeah.
More than one episode. It's going to take us a few.
Yeah.
Right.
So, look forward to that in season 2.
Yes.
We'll work on that.
Yes.
Movement songs.
Yes.
Freedom songs.
Yes.
Freedom songs. We have so many questions and people coming like, well, what was that for? And when did y'all sing this? And we be like,
and folks are saying, like, have y'all published any of these songs? Or you need to record them or compile them all together.
Exactly.
It's the soundtrack to our life.
Exactly.
Yes.
And then I'll be like, I don't even know who wrote half these songs. They just, we just
community
was born,
songs.
raised them.
Yeah.
Singing them.
That's been passed on. And I'm sure, each generation changes it a little bit.
Oh, yeah, because there's some variations to some of them.
Regionally.
Definitely. Some of the ones that, I used to sing younger, and like when they sing them now, people add, I'm like, they added that. All right.
That's what I was saying to y'all.
So updated version.
A couple of episodes ago about Farah
Kuzaliwa.
Kuzaliwa.
Definitely Farah Kuzaliwa.
It became a whole.
It changed.
Which is beautiful.
But I like
it's
this version.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy is... Like the Israelite community now, every time it's me or any of the children's birthday, they start being like, "How that song go?" They be like, Farah Kuzaliwa, what? I'll be like, no,
everybody loves that song.
Let's sing that.
At Musa's birthday.
Yes.
Our nephew Mansa Musa turned 7 in May, and we were singing the song, and there are people who have been around us for years and years and years. Some of them know it. Some of them can clap and try to sing along. But then somebody always is like, teach me that song.
Exactly.
How do you sing it?
No, I literally, after it was showing
Tierney
and I forget the other one, they literally was like, what? Wait, what are y'all saying? I'm like, Tierney, how long have you been around us? Come on now. You should know that song.
Oh, God. Almost 30 years.
Exactly. So I sat there and
been 30 years.
broke down.
I saw you breaking it all the way down.
I was like, y'all got...
And they were so excited, though, when they got it.
Oh, yes.
I
was like, come on, y'all. Let's get the rhythm. But they got it, and they was like, oh, yeah, we recording this. I was like, oh, Lord.
Yeah, but once we cover the songs, it'll be...
Oh, yeah.
That will be a great episode or episodes.
Yes.
I think it's going to be a couple.
Yeah.
Because we can talk about, some of them we'll talk about what they mean, what they represent, and what they mean to us.
And then we could probably bring on Ayo because she knows a lot, and she could.
You'll hear some singing during these episodes.
Has such a beautiful voice.
Every now and again we'll throw a little bit to you, but we'll give you a little bit more.
Yeah, we can't not sing.
That's true.
In any episode.
That's true.
As you all have heard.
Yes.
And I love that we were saying Farah Kuzaliwa because this episode we're actually celebrating, the life of someone. It's a real brother's birthday this week. It's a real brother's birthday this week. Yes, Tupac Amaru Shakur would have been 52 this week. So we're honoring Tupac today and having some conversation around his life and legacy.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
and the fact that he just received his star last week. So
it's on the Walk of Fame.
Excited.
I mean, still making waves and
still
changing the world.
Yes,
he
still.
Said it. He said
almost 27 years later.
Right. Still present, ever present.
Since he was taken away from us.
Right. Long
But
lived.
it's like his spirit, it just moves fluidly through time.
Yes.
It's like it never stops. Just flowing. And it's just been amazing to see generation after generation love him so
take
much,
on to him and his music and his message. His messages. There was so many.
And it's like his messages just, they count for everything. And when you read, I'm sorry, I'm kind of but I'm always on Instagram for some reason.
Tupac gets me excited.
No, for some reason, I'm always getting the reels of his, right? And they always coincide with what's going on today.
Right.
Timeless.
And it's amazing. I just share it because the wisdom that he had at his age is so amazing. He was wise.
Oh yeah.
It was like
beyond
an old man
his years
in that young body, and the things he accomplished in 25 years.
I always say
life.
that. I always, anytime I'm looking at anything, I always have to say to myself, "This man was 25 when he passed."
And and
you think about, and that was when he passed. So I say to people, when you talk about the height of his career, he was younger than that. He was like 21, 21. So when you think about that, you have to think, because people always talk about, Tupac this, have things to say. And I'm like, but do you understand how young he was?
Exactly.
What were you doing at 20 and 21 that people weren't privy to?
Right.
So, how can you stand in judgment of someone who was young, growing daily, and
in the public eye?
Yes, and accepted and responsibility for his actions.
Yes.
So
he never cowered away. He always stood on his principle. And he didn't allow the fame to even make him change. He knew he had a job to do.
That's
you
right.
know,
And
he came in this
he
world
was very clear about it.
Very clear. And the way he came in this world, it was purposeful. You know, he was meant
and
to
the
be
messages
here.
still resonate today. When you play any speech or any, not even just the songs, but just him talking, his interviews, speeches that he's made, all of it, he could have been doing that yesterday.
From when he was 17
Teenager,
years old. That was one of the ones that I always am fond of. And I actually use a couple of them in my class, my Black Experience class.
Very
and
impactful.
I tell students, yes, you're watching Tupac right now.
Very impactful.
And this is a message, and it's relevant
And
to
you know what's crazy?
the course.
Right now, the only song that's banging in my head is "They Got Me Trapped." But that album.
You can't keep the black man down.
They got me trapped. That album was amazing.
So we talked about the fact that, it's Tupac's birthday week. And, this month, June, for our family is a heavy month with birthdays, transitions.
Victories.
Yes, victories. And, most recently, the victory we had last year that we'll talk about one of these days. Yes. So we have a caller today who is our cousin, our comrade,
our sister.
And I'm going to read a little bit about who she is and share who she is, because, people know the name, but they don't really know the woman, the person. She is not just the sister of Tupac. She is not just the daughter of Afeni and Mutulu Shakur. She is not just the mother of Nzinga and Malik and several bonus children that she has and godchildren. Set Shakur is a philanthropic enthusiast and a fierce heart leader with over 25 years of experience serving in family outreach, program coordination, and youth creative arts development. She is also very passionate about activism and is a dedicated mental health and wellness advocate. She is a spirited influencer who embodies courage, strength, and compassion. And Set constantly shares the trials that she has gone through in her life to help others who may be experiencing similar things and to let them know that they are not alone. She continues to strive for personal and professional growth while encouraging others to stand up for peace, truth, and goodness. She is an original board member of the Tupac Amaru Shakur Foundation, established in 1996. Her role and commitment has grown over the years from being the student liaison and program coordinator to a current role where she is now the president and CEO of the foundation. In this role, her core responsibilities are in developing compliant fundraising practices and serving as an ambassador for the organization by advancing its mission within the community. We will allow Set to tell you more about herself as we continue this conversation, but right now we would like to welcome Set Shakur to the show.
You're welcome.
Hey, Set.
Hey, Set.
Thank you for having me, you all. I'm so excited.
Yes.
Hi.
So excited to have you on.
Yes, and to hear that voice. What's going on?
Yeah, so much is going on, but nothing much at all.
Yes. How are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm good. I'm truly so excited today. This is like the crust of my day. This is amazing. I'm happy to be here with you guys. I'm so proud of you guys and what you're doing and how you're doing it, and grateful to be a part of it.
Yes, likewise.
We're so happy to have you.
Yep, and we are so proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're so proud of you and all your accomplishments and just your drive and determination. Exactly. So, and we're blessed to have you on today, this month, to commemorate, such a powerful month for our whole family and, in completeness.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as Aisha said, many people will associate you, and I'm sure your entire life, just as with all of us, associate you or identify you as in relationship to others, right? In relationship to other family members. But for those who are listening, who is Sekyiwa Shakur?
Sekyiwa Shakur. One, I do want to say that I am proudly the sister of Tupac Shakur, proudly the daughter of Afeni Shakur, and proudly the daughter of Mutulu Shakur. Proudly. Each of those people have spent their lives, a portion of their lives, without me in it. But there's never been a day of my life that I wasn't that. So that does describe much of who I am and how I was raised and how I developed. I'm probably the heart of my core family, and meaning that most of my life, what mattered to me most was that those three people and the people that my close surroundings, Yasei, Yasmin, you guys, my cousins, all felt the love that we deserved. Because feeling the love didn't seem to come, organically from the world to us. So most of my life, all I cared about was giving a hug and making sure that everybody felt love.
Yes.
As I grew up, the lessons that I've learned in my adolescence, all of the pains and the molestations and rapes, and not just sexual molestations and rapes, but social molestations and rapes that we've gone through, helped me to extend that love to the youth, like you said, in my early 20s. And that power and that wanting to make sure that others who may have felt alone, who may have felt voiceless, knew that there was somewhere that they could go for a symbolic hug or symbolic support, if not physical and actual love and support. And my children, giving birth to my children and help them becoming the people that they are, also like a crown jewel of who I am, and seeing how they move. And I don't mean, and I have my biological children, but like Aisha said, all of the other children that help cultivate me, and then they allow me to help cultivate who they are today as well. Feel really empowered by the love that they put into the world, and the love that they share with me. And then just being you guys' cousins, and I mean, we glow from the glow of each other, and that's really important to me too. I'm not ashamed to be the family of my family. You know,
that's
it's not a slight to me when. Yeah, it's not at all a slight to me when someone says that. I've always been a fan of my brother, even before he was a celebrity. He was always Tupac to me. Tupac with the two. I think, you know, the love of Yafeu and Tupac allowed me to know, and my dad allowed me to learn how to love myself. I, for a long time, didn't see myself as myself. I just saw myself in reflection to their love for me. So they helped me when I did not know how to love myself. And so I'm grateful for the love and for the family that we have.
That's very powerful. So as you say that just made me think of something, you know, that we've talked about, and I know that you're very passionate about, is mental health and awareness. And I want you to speak to that a little bit in regards to the foundation and how important that has been for you to ensure that is something that you are able to provide to community.
So when the foundation, the seed of the foundation was started like when we lived in Baltimore, and I must have been in 3rd grade. Tupac maybe was like 13 years old, and a community center that we used to frequent was shut down and bulldozed, and Pac tried to, you know, keep it open. And when it closed, we were at like the worst part of our lives growing up, and it was like lived in poverty, and the middle of my dad being a fugitive, and we basically were fugitives as well, or living underground, as we would say. And it was just a lot of sadness around me. And my brother looked at me and said, I promise that we're going to, you know, this is not going to be like this for long, and we're going to be able to open up again and give other kids this opportunity to where they feel loved at all times and feel safe love at all times. So after his passing, my mom started Tupac Amaru Shakur Foundation and Center for the Arts, and then because arts was such a way of that saved Tupac and a lot of other people in our generation, she dedicated and focused on the arts and allowing the arts to be a way to give the youth their voice, to speak with, you know, how they're feeling about their community and the problems in their lives. I always felt like it was an amazing program, an amazing step to take. And we served more than 4,000 youth. But once she passed, I realized that the foundation had to be more than just a vehicle for Tupac's dream, but also a vehicle for the Shakur legacy as a whole. So we altered and expanded the mission for the foundation to, one, be able to identify where our trauma comes from, and work on being able to eradicate the causes of that trauma. And mind you, my mom passed in 2016, right in the middle of, you know, from Trayvon to Sandra Bland, and then after her passing was George
Floyd.
My God. Sorry.
That's okay.
George Floyd. And the country was going through so much trauma, like just immediate trauma. But, you know, from my childhood on, I was the cup holder for a lot of the trauma that our family went through, because I'm one of the younger ones of you guys, and so as the cup holder for the trauma, I literally just swallowed all of the pain and never knew I didn't have a vehicle like my brother did of the arts to release it, and so it came out with rage, and then as a teenager came out as searching for love with sex and bad relationships and abusive relationships and then abuse of just dealing with abuse in biological families and accepting abuse from strangers and accepting just not love what doesn't equate to love what I accepted it as, and suffered from what eventually I found to be PTSD, extreme PTSD, but it looked a lot like for a lot of my life and was misdiagnosed a lot of my life as bipolar because of the way that my levels, my reaction times, my total recall from the pain or from triggers, and because it looked like bipolarism, I concentrated on therapy for like 25 years, and I was in constant therapy and making sure that I felt like I wasn't understood. I couldn't. My emotions was louder than my voice, and my emotions was so loud that I realized that my heart wasn't the first. I wasn't leading with my heart. I was leading with my fear and my emotions. So once Sandra Bland passed, and the reasoning that the people say that they arrested her or they beat her or whatever is because of her attitude or whatever, and it just reminded me very clearly that could be me if my attitude or the way that I emote is offensive and it's against the law, and I can be killed for the way that I emote. We really have to have a vehicle for our people to be able to express ourselves better, more clear, and be understood more clear for who we are. So that's what my plan was. My plan is for the foundation. I mean, so many other ways that we emote, and there's also so many other ways that we heal outside of just therapy. So opening up the ideas of fresh food and legal support and just meditation or stretching or sitting in the sun, just, ideas that maybe we didn't know that we can just reach and have to our benefit to help ease our nervous system when it's overdone or overexposed. Am I talking too much right now?
No.
Absolutely not.
It's necessary.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing. And as you brought that up, I wanted to bring up another way for people to deal with that, my sister, Dr. Asantewa, has been working on as a board member of the Tupac Amaru Shakur Foundation. Can you talk about that?
Sure. Color therapy. And yes, it is a form of therapy, but it really leans on a lot of the knowledge and the wisdom of indigenous Africans, ancient Africans from Kemet, who started color therapy in the beginning of time. And so in this coloring book that hopefully we'll be publishing really soon, and we'll let folks know when that's ready. But in this coloring book, you'll take a journey through various colors, and you'll learn about how chakras are also related to various colors, and that they all have meaning that you can kind of apply to yourself and your situation. One of the goals of the coloring book is for folks to be able to pick it up and go to, whatever place they need to go in that journey, right? In the journey of the book, and address whatever it is that they're feeling. And so if you're having an issue with speaking your mind, right? Speaking openly, speaking truth to power, addressing an issue that's lingering that you need to either, release yourself or have a discussion with someone else. You can read about the throat chakra and how to release that, how to open it up, and also look at the color that's associated with that. And you can journal, in the coloring book. You can draw. There's a lot of different kind of modalities that you can employ as you journey through this text. And so I want to thank you, Sekyiwa, for inviting me to, participate in the creation of the coloring book, and for all of your work. I'm always in awe of you and your strength and your power, your commitment, your tenacity. And so just even hearing you talk today, so much of what you endeavor to do, so much of your vision and your goal is actually coming to pass because of your commitment and because of your great leadership. So thank you for that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you too. Color therapy has helped so much with easing my nervous system. Smoking weed wasn't enough, and I had to put that down. It was causing, more harm than good, and the medication of the medical system wasn't working for me. My anxiety didn't help my anxiety at all. Literally, I found how just coloring cuts into me, calms me for hours, and I appreciate you for being able to help me get that, or help us get that to our people. Thank you.
Sure.
So
I also want to say really quick about the foundation, and to all of our family and cousins that are listening. It's one of the vehicles that Tupac left for us, and Tupac left for us to use to be a platform of his to be able to use for all of us. And I invite everybody to know and to truly know that there's other places that, the celebrity part seems so untouchable, but this foundation is ours, and it's ours to use for our benefit and our wellness and our well-being and our uplifting. And so I thank the three of you also for being a part of what makes the foundation what it is today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So it kind of it's just great to hear you on, and just listening to you makes me kind of like just recall, when we were younger and some of our conversations, and just it just gives me chills to see the rise in you. It's beautiful to see you blooming. I remember some of those insecure conversations that we both used to have, and the different discussions, and so it's just beautiful to see that. And every time I see you and your smile, I just always just be thankful, that the Creator allowed you to bloom out of that, and not just out of it to become better for you, but become better. You became better for you so that you could be better for everyone else. And a lot of times, people don't understand the selflessness that it takes to become that and to do that. So I just wanted to comment on that, that reflection, because that's what I feel every time we talk and I see you. And I'm just so proud of those steps that you've taken. And it's hard, people don't understand how hard it is to acknowledge the weaknesses that we have, and then to even express it openly so that others can get to a place of comfortability and a place of where their self-esteem rises from hearing somebody else, come out of that. So I'm grateful that you're here and able to express it, and that, oh man, people don't understand, like, we all survived, and it's a lot that we survived from, and it's a lot that we're still, striving to survive from. So everything you just spoke on was powerful and needed. And it kind of just flowed into my question that I was going to ask you about. What is the greatest lesson that you carry from, your brother and your mother? And then having your father to come home after so many years, what lesson has that also taught you?
You know what? For it's been 25 years since Pac, 26 years since Pac's passing, 7 years since Afeni's passing, and like I said before, I was the fragile one of the family. Of many suicide attempts, low self-value or self-vision of myself, and the fact that I have survived is the biggest lesson that I got from my brother and my mom. Is that not that I have, but I can, and that I'm not the weakest and I'm not the most vulnerable, and that the universe and they somehow thought it was that I was worthy of surviving. I would have never, ever thought that I could live without the two of them. And the fact that I have and I am is a huge lesson that I can. And not just live, but I'm thriving, that I can thrive with all that they've, given me, with the love of just the gift of being able to be loved by them is enough. Then there's really nothing more that I need from the world or I need it from them except just the gift of their love. And my dad come home is the same. It's like he's home. I never considered it. I never thought that it would happen in my lifetime. And I'm able to not. I don't need to be a burden to him or love. I don't need our love to be a burden to him. When, he was in jail and I was going through puberty and all of the, hardships, I'm like, well, he should be doing this, or I don't got a dad for this. But actually, I can appreciate my father being alive and free and just the wind touching his face because I have survived. I have made it. And I will, and I have all of the tools I need. And all I need, and what I know now is all I need from him and from this gift is for him to be free and alive, and the love that we've shared just in that. And I'm really happy that there's no burden of of him being home. Like it's no like I need for him to make up for this time, or I need for him to make up for this time. I really just enjoy. He gave me last week. I was with him and I was dealing with some legal stuff, and when he had just came home from the hospital, and I sat at his feet and I said, "Dad, can you massage my ears?" And he gave me the most beautiful massage, and that's the first time of my life. He's the acupuncturist, and he healed the world with his hands, and he was able to soothe me and to help prepare me for what I needed to do with just love and peace of his touch. And I'm grateful for that, and for the simpleness of that we're able to just simply love on each other right now, because there is no more fight. We have survived. We have made it.
That's a blessing.
A blessing indeed. Yeah. And it's just a blessing to witness it,
Yes.
Just a blessing to witness that love and that reunion of the freedom. Because like you said, you've always had him, you just had him in a different way. But now to have him free, oh man, like it's
surreal.
Yeah, it is. It is. And everything you even said about Pac and Auntie Faye, like you definitely are the heart. And your survival is a testament to everything that they fought for and continue to fight for on your behalf in the ancestral realm, and fight for for our people as well. So, Yeah, like I said earlier, I'm happy you're here. You know, I'm thankful that you're here. And I'm even more thankful that you're here and we're able to have these conversations now, you know?
Yeah.
Because like we always say, when we all get together, it's like the hardest part about a lot of this is the conversation piece. Like we don't talk about it like, you know, like most people think we probably do. And, you know, we find other things to talk about. We, you know, we laugh about other stuff and we laugh about some of the stuff we went through, but to actually be able to conversate about the hard parts and see how we used it as a vehicle, you know, for our growth. And we're using it not just for our growth. Like I said earlier, the Tupac Amaru Shakur Foundation is using it as a vehicle for so many people to grow, you know, and your expansion is phenomenal. You know, you took the, like, arts, people just, when they hear arts, they think of either dancing, you know, some type of music or performing, but you took it and arts, you expanded that art to just life itself, because life is art, you know, when we really think about it. You know, when you get up and you're able to walk and you're able to just do certain things, those formations are, you know, formations of art. So
most of the way that our people emote is through the arts, you know, whether it's just humming as you're washing the dishes or, you know, as you're sweeping, but it's just what we do. Just so music and creativity is just a part of who we are, a part of our blood.
Yeah.
And so it's hard for us to address anything. I mean, arts address everything that we go through.
Absolutely. It does.
Yeah.
And healing.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, we don't have to be on a stage. I love that you said that. Yeah, it doesn't have to be on a stage somewhere. Because
the stage is wherever you are.
The world is a stage, right? That's one of the stages.
Yes, and it doesn't have to be monetized in the way that the, you know, European art forms are.
Right.
You know,
Right. And in fact, historically, art, especially on the continent of Africa, has always been used as a healing modality. You know, and performing arts, you know, there was a separation. Well, actually, there was no separation as it is in European or white theater, for example, between the audience and the performer. There were no spectators. You know, everyone participated. And it was a way, you know, as you're saying, for people to not only heal, and release, but for them to learn. So there was storytelling happening, griots. People came together to celebrate their culture. So it's much more, as Afua was saying, than, you know, just this kind of performative thing, that gets monetized, as you said.
Yeah. So tell me, you guys, about what's going on with you all.
You was like, I laid it all out there. Now go ahead. I just, as you were talking, I was thinking about the adage, of seeds of revolution. You know, they tried to bury us, but they didn't know that we were seeds. And so, you know, I said it earlier, and I feel like I'm going to echo, you know, what Afua said too. But one of the things that I've always appreciated about having conversation with you is that, like, don't filter, you know, and we do a lot of laughing on this podcast. We make a lot of jokes, and we also, you know, get serious. Actually, Daddy said the other day, y'all are the silliest, most serious young women I know. And I was like, thank you, Daddy.
What a compliment.
That is a compliment.
Yes, thank you for recognizing the duality. And so much of, you know, what you talked about, you know, represents that as well. You know,
I think we were raised that way too.
Like
I think all of, you know, our parents and Abba, like everybody, like when we were all together, they encouraged us to have fun, to be who we are,
to be full human beings, to be full,
and not to feel like we had to sit up straight, be like this.
Because there was a time for that.
Them being full human beings, they were full human beings.
Absolutely,
exactly.
Get together and I mean, my father would dance and twirl in the middle of any song. Any song come on.
I heard about them songs.
He would like make any silly joke and not be afraid to make a butt out of himself. Like it they were full human beings. They weren't just, these serious revolutionaries.
Right.
The world wants them to be.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and I think that's what we appreciate, I guess, with having them as our parents, because we know what the world sees, but they don't know what we saw,
at the house.
And so it's like, it's just so, I don't know.
They had one persona for the world, and then with
for
us, they were.
They could take off that beret and that leather jacket and be like, all right, we home. Let's just do what we got to do. Let's have some fun. And like you said,
take the head wrap off, let the head down.
It wasn't always sit up straight, like, because they trained us for moments like that, when we were in court and when we had to go and stand at attention in certain things.
Yeah.
But then when it was time for us to just be able to have fun, they let us have fun.
Yeah.
And
they led the fun.
They led the fun.
They led the fun.
Yeah.
They led
Yeah. And then when they got all the cousins got together, they did.
Yeah.
Because when all of us got together,
it was
they
over.
couldn't even
they couldn't stop us from having fun. I was asking Uncle Mutulu one day, he was actually telling me, he was like, man, yo mama, when we used to get together, and I'd be like, I just sat there in awe of that story, because he wasn't talking about her on a superficial way. He was saying that was my sister.
Right.
Like,
going back to that simplicity that Seth talked
and
about
then
earlier.
hearing that story, it helped me to even see her differently. Because when I tell people, those are our parents, but y'all, when I tell Daddy and them, and they be like, I'll be like, y'all are each other's comrades. There's things that we'll never know, and things that I don't even want to know, and things that y'all done went through that I don't ever want to go through. But
I remember, and I appreciate so much. I'm sorry for cutting you off, but I appreciate so much when I was having hard times with my mom. So my brother's not there; he's gone now, and I'm having hard times with my mom. And I'm like, no one knows this lady, the person no one that's around her knows the woman that raised me.
Right.
And so I would have to literally go to Aunt Falani and it's like, I need help with my mom. And I was able to really get a sister's point of view. You know what I mean? I was able to get someone who knows her fragility, knows her strength, and understands what, why my mom and I was having like misunderstanding. And it's not just, you better just, respect your mama, or, she went through a lot. No, it was a lot. She was able to sit down and talk to me about my mother as a human being. And I didn't get that from her. I don't have that.
And that's so funny, because we talk about it all the time, because then your mom was that for me. Not that, I was really having issues with my mom, but because her and I, were just so close. Every time she saw me, oh, my niece, and so, she was one of my favorite aunties, so I was like, I just love talking to her.
Aisha took it right, because I didn't have Auntie Afeni like calling me like that, but every time I saw her, she would just hug me and say the most powerful things to me, right? And then she would talk to me about certain things, because me and Mommy had some time, that energy, right? But it was like, for me, like when she would come around, I would be able to like calm out. I would be able to ask Auntie Afeni like, yo, what can I do about, your sister? But
what am I doing so wrong?
Right, exactly. And then it made me realize that, our relationships with our parents are our relationships, right? But it also made me realize how blessed we were to have those aunties and uncles to be able to talk to. And then, like you said, like some of our relationships were different. Some of us had favorite. This is my favorite aunt, or this is my favorite uncle, this is my favorite niece, or whatever. But the relationships that were built,
very special.
Very special. We would never know those relationships sometimes, because each one of us built them on our own with, who we chose to build them with. And so, I'm glad that, Seth had that outlet and we had our outlets. And like just recently we were talking, and she talked about Daddy being at her house, and she was just so happy, and I was just like, girl, you can have him.
Your turn.
I'll pack him up and send him.
How long you gonna keep?
Right. So just being able to even share that love, and people don't realize, like we've talked about this before, the love that we were given, we have so much of it to give.
Yeah.
And then we appreciate our parents so much in a way that we might not have appreciated it initially. Exactly.
Because I don't even think we really realized,
understood.
What they were doing.
Right.
But they built the house that Shakur built, encompassing all of us under that,
family umbrella.
Umbrella, not all sharing the Shakur last name, but still being a part of that.
Of it.
That nobody, nobody could touch that. And that's something that, is special and continues to be special and will always be. And it's important for us to now, really ensure that our children fully understand what that means and what that was, and that we can, give them, a semblance of what was given to us, because we were given a lot, and it makes me, I don't get sad, but I smile when I think about, the different interactions with people, especially Abba, and to our listeners, Sallahudin Shakur is Abba, and that is the patriarch of the Shakur family. He is the one who you owe everything to when you talk about Shakurs and who is a Shakur and what is a Shakur. You cannot do that without mentioning Sallahudin Shakur and Mariama Shakur.
Even when you guys speak about, when I talk about all of the kids that came through the Pac Center, or Aisha spoke about me being a godmother, and I'm sure you guys all also have bonus children that you look after. It comes from this example of Sallahudin. Who took care of the children in his neighborhood that didn't have solid families, that didn't come from safe places. And both of my parents were examples of that. And I don't know who or what we would be if they didn't have the grace of his love, him and his wife and his 3 children.
Such a beautiful, beautiful spirit. Miss him every day. We love you, Abba. Thank you.
Abba. Such a beautiful man. And that merchant, too.
Thank you. We are thankful and grateful, which is the meaning of Shakur.
Right, absolutely. And Daddy, what we'll do is we'll post a link, too, because our father, Bilal Sunni Ali, wrote an article. Well, he actually did an interview with Kalanji Changa on the Shakur legacy and the family, where he breaks it all down. So if anybody is interested, we'll make sure that we share that link with you.
And he mentions it in the book too, A Light on a Hill.
Yes, he does.
Yes, A Light on a Hill. So what's that?
A Light on a Hill.
Talk about it.
A Light on a Hill is a book that I did, and it was a heartfelt project. It was something that I felt, I was called to do. And I talked to Seth about it, and, the way it was done was that I asked some people who are friends and family, to contribute and share stories about Pac and, his impact on the world, his impact on them, what he meant to them, what he still means to the world and everybody. And we released that in 2021 to honor his 50th birthday and the 25th anniversary of his passing. And proceeds from that benefit the foundation. So that, was something, a labor of love and just really a beautiful tribute to him, I feel.
Yeah.
It really
actually, to us,
Yes, to us.
Right.
You're right.
Definitely. Yeah.
Because it definitely was for us. And, I'm looking forward to us doing more things together as a family to talk about all of our stories and to shine a light on what we all do, have done, and continue to do to sustain and to keep thriving in this ever-changing world that gets crazier and crazier every day.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I would like to say before we wrap up, I'm not sure how much more time we have, but I want to make sure I do say, since this is a platform that others are listening on, we talked about the love that we grew up with, the love that our parents and our family bestowed on us, how much we love on each other, how the love that we've given to the world collectively and individually. But I would like to put a call out to the people who's listening to the world that we need support and love back. That we are human and we are just a family. We might be an extraordinary family, but we are a family like any others. That sometimes we need the space to be able to be a family without having to give to the world, and sometimes we need complete and love from the support of the people that we've given and our parents have given to. And I think that we don't say that enough.
I agree. That was on point, Seth, because a lot of people, I don't even think people think we don't need it. They just look at us and be like, oh, they have it. They have one another. They came from this and they came from that. But like you said, we are still a family. We're still human. And even though, the attachment is there of a certain form of fame, of being revolutionaries, being known artists out here, and just the different accolades our different family members have made, we still need those moments. And then we still need, like you said, that support and positive support. Not just people saying, oh, I want to come because they just want to be associated, but they want to come because they want to be a part of the betterment of us and our people. So that's so important that you put that call out, because we need it.
And the work that we're doing.
We need that support. And it needs the support of the people, because the people is what really carries what we're doing and what the movement.
So. And it's who we're doing it for.
Exactly.
Because it's a form of healing for us. And that's what I was speaking to earlier. Just having these conversations is so healing. It's so affirming. At the same time, as Seth was saying, we need that love and we need that support so that we can continue to do it. To do the work that we're doing. Right.
Yeah. Right. And she's right. We don't ask enough. Because sometimes even within us, we're like, oh, no, we got this. We're strong enough, And then when we have our weak moments, we have those by ourselves. And we don't
broadcast it.
Yeah, we don't broadcast it, but we really do have weak moments. And we really do need to be able to communicate, not just with one another, but if somebody said, hey, what do you need? I'm like, oh, I just need 5 minutes, or I just need this, and be able to say what we need, and that person reciprocate it.
Exactly. Because a lot of the times when we go through things in public and on the world stage, that we're having to protect our family, we're having to protect ourselves, and then also be cordial to the people around.
Right.
When this is not, that's not the actual time that I need to be worried about the people. I need the people to be worried about me right now, so I can help my family get stronger.
Yes.
Wow. So with that said, Seth, please let folks know how they can support the Tupac Amaru Shakur Foundation.
Go to fortasf.com is our website, and you'll be able to donate or list how you can volunteer or list your organization for us to be able to support you. Just be a part of our TASF family. Also, this may sound small, but it's big for me personally right now with this fight that I'm having in public, this legal fight with the estate of my brother and my mother's estate, with the industry people. Just having grace of understanding of what it may feel like to be alone or singular, having to deal, having to fight monsters or big machines, you know what I mean? Just grace sometimes is really, really all I need. I actually don't need someone to inbox me a picture of my brother's last photo or a video. Like I don't need that, but I do need you know what I mean? What I do need is for you to understand what I might be going through and to send some, love, compassion, and whatever way it feels comfortable for you.
And we stand with you in solidarity in that fight, and we're sending you so much love and so much energy to sustain the fight and to ultimately win it.
Yep. Which will happen.
Ashe.
Yes.
Ashe.
Thank you.
So we're gonna close with a nice little fun little game. And it's called the Power 5. And so we'll be asking you 5 rapid fire questions, or we might say a word or a phrase, and we want you to just say the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
All right. So the first word is whirlwind.
My life.
Yes. Good one.
The second is a film everyone should watch.
"5 Minutes of Heaven."
Okay.
A book everyone should read.
"Wild Seed" by Octavia Butler.
Okay.
And your favorite revolutionary?
Harriet Tubman.
Okay. And last but not least, what is your prayer for the next generation?
That big.
Take your time.
My prayer is that they truly don't have to fight, defend the color of their skin, that they can feel what true love is. Yeah. Yeah.
Ashe.
We love you so much,
Yes,
Seth.
we love you.
Thank you for calling.
I love
today.
you all. Thank you for having me. This is amazing.
Yes.
I talk to you all soon. Peace.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.
All right.
Be safe.
Love you. Peace.
We want to thank our special guest, cousin, sister, comrade, Sekyiwa Shakur, for calling in and joining us today. This was such a beautiful episode. We thank you all for listening. And again, at the number 4 TASF.com is the website for the Tupac Amaru Shakur Foundation. Also on IG, it's the number 4 TASF on IG, and on Facebook, it's Tupac Amaru Shakur Foundation or TASF.
Yes.
Yeah. So follow and support the movement.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Until next time.
You have been listening to the Seeds of Revolution, Daughters of the Whirlwind podcast. Be blessed.
Look for me in the world.